So this is my second year in a row to be able to come bow hunting out here at Canadian River Hilton the first week of January. It's actually my third year in a row to be here. Awesome week, always loved this week, and I was super fired up to know that I was going to be coming back out here. This is one of the funnest weeks of the year for me. Right after the holidays, you get to come out here for the first week, and it's just so much fun. I love this type of hunting, and knowing the people that I was going to be coming with were kind of some of our original crew who started this first week of January a couple years ago. I was super excited to get back out here. Leading up to the trip, the pictures that Justin started texting us, he sent two specific deer that I was going to be looking for this week. One was a really wide 9-point who had been really consistent in one area. The other was just kind of a weird nose buck, big 9-point, big body deer. Those were going to be the two specific deer that I was going to be going after this week. Yeah, so third morning of the hunt, we headed out to the blind where we thought maybe the really wide deer was going to be hanging out. You know, kind of fast forward through the hunt, we had a little buck out there feeding pretty early on, but that was about it. It was a little slow, but come about probably 7:45, 7:50, Rusty just kind of grabs me by the arm, said, "There's a big buck right behind you." And I kind of glanced over and saw a new buck that we did not know about, and he was big, mature deer with two kickers coming off each G2. I got my bow ready, Rusty got the camera ready, and we were just kind of waiting right there on pins and needles, waiting for him to kind of come into the opening that we had. And he literally came into the opening, took one glance over at the blind, and left. That quick. The whole thing happened in, I don't know, 5 seconds. You kind of get let down a little bit knowing that that was a huge deer that you almost had a chance at, but it just didn't happen. But the thing about out here, it could happen any second of any day. That was the third morning. It just kind of got me really fired up because I knew it was only a matter of time before I was going to get a shot. Third afternoon, we headed back to the other stand that we had been hunting. The wind was kind of wrong for the blind that we were in that morning. I had a little sliver that I could kind of glance through and look back down the wheat lane. And at some point, I glanced back there, saw a buck way at the other end of it. Couldn't tell anything about it, but I could just tell it was a big deer. And as soon as I saw it, he was gone. And so at that point, we knew there were big bucks in the area, not knowing what deer that was. Shortly after 5 o'clock, looked to my left out of that same sliver, 20 yards away, and there was the nose buck. Nose is right here. He's coming in. The last little 6 inches of my draw just kind of scraped my jacket just a little bit. But down there in that river bottom, there was no wind whatsoever. You could literally hear a leaf drop like 80 yards away. You get a little down, but you know for sure that at some point you're gonna get a shot because this place is just too good. Fourth afternoon, we just got set up in the blind deer. We're back here where we were yesterday morning where we had that kicker's buck kind of come in on us. And he ended up spooking, but it's a beautiful river bottom down here, really thick, bunch of cedars, a lot of trails coming through here. We got in here super early this afternoon because according to the trail camera, there was been a really big buck in here really early in the afternoon, the last few afternoons, and just got to stay watching the whole time. It should set up to be a pretty good afternoon. About 3:45, I'll look over, and 15 yards away, I saw our deer coming in. He was right there. He's quartering to a little much. Wait for him to turn broadside. That's all right. We're gonna get him. Huge deer, man. Dude. I think it was too far back. It was a little back. It was back, yeah. It's all right, though. It's right in the middle. It ain't high, it ain't low. God, he's gonna lay up and die. We got him, don't worry about it. The high of hunting, of seeing the buck that you're after is up here, and then knowing you made a subpar shot on that animal, you go back down here again, and you know, it was everything I could do to hold it together, because you know, it's just a lot of stuff going through your head. Got back to camp, showed Justin the footage, kind of got a game plan for the next morning. Like I was telling the guys, you know, I've been behind the camera for that whole sequence of waiting it out through the night, and it's my job. Like, I don't think anything about it, but I've never been a part of that as the shooter. And I'm telling you, dude, it was different. And, you know, just kind of replaying the shot back through your head going, man, you know, what could I have done different? Did I not center my pin right? Did I pull? You know, was it the bow's fault? Just all these different things going through your head. And I was looking forward to getting back out there the next morning, because it was like, you know, a lot of stuff going through your head, and you just kind of wanted to be able to have some closure to it and put your hands on his antlers.
Hey, brother.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
That's a big old deer. It's a fine deer.
How's the highs and lows of whitetail hunting, man?
Yeah.
Took us about half hour search and finally found him over here. He went about 70 yards away from where we shot him. Unfortunately, the coyotes got to him pretty good overnight, but we found our buck, man, and I could not be any more excited. This whole experience, kind of the cat and mouse game of chasing a big deer, it's fun, and it makes you have the ultimate respect for the animal. The feeling whenever you put your hands on a big deer, it's that same feeling never goes away, and that feeling's kind of propelled my whole life up until this point. It's given me great friends, great experiences, a career, and you know, I'll always cherish little moments like this, because it's pretty special. And you know what? The coyotes did get to him. We're not going to make any bones about that, but it doesn't take away from the experience, from the whole week that we've had here and everything we've gotten a chance to do this week. Going back in that morning, finding them was super cool. It was super unfortunate too that the coyotes found them along the way, but you know what? We were able to recover them and able to have closure, quite frankly. Whenever you send an arrow, you know, that's your arrow, and you know, you have to make sure that it counts. And there's nothing worse in the world than not being able to recover an animal. You did find the buck, and he's your biggest buck with a bow by far. It was an awesome feeling. And having everybody there with us too, Rusty, Justin, Jerry, Austin, everybody, kind of that core group all with us, and all the high fives that come with that. You know, suddenly you realize that, you know, really it's not about the critter at all. It's about the people, the places you get to go, the memories you make. That's really what makes all this worth it. and it just makes you super thankful and appreciative. It was really fun to be able to put my hands on the antlers.